One of the little things that I remind myself of all the time, stop talking. I think I've spent a lot of my life feeling like I got to participate in every conversation. I got to have an opinion on everything. I got to make sure I get in the last word, whether it's at work or family in particular. And when you stop talking, a whole different world opens up to you. Go into work or into class this week and be quiet. Don't say anything. And notice how different everything is. Or when you're having dinner with your family, be quiet. Ask questions if you want, but stop talking. You're not growing when you're talking. You grow and learn when you're listening. I'm not talking silent treatment stuff here. I just stop talking, lower your voice when you do. It signals that you're in control, and your peace is worth protecting. So stop talking.
You can literally get anything you want in this life if you can learn to master communication. I listened to all 2.5 hours of this podcast. You don't have to. This is attorney Jefferson Fisher, also known as the speaking coach. Here's everything you need to know. 1, learn to pause and breathe when someone is asking you something. So instead of, how was your day? Oh, it was really good. How was your day? It's, how was your day? It was really, really good, actually. I had a great day. How was your day? It shows that you're actually listening to what's being asked of you and you're really present. Train yourself to communicate in this space of pausing and really listening instead of going on autopilot. Whatever you say next, the other person is going to be much more interested in. 2, people with low self-esteem start sentences with, hey, so say things with confidence and say things that are going to push the conversation forward. So instead of, hey, do you think you have time to help me with this? It's, do you think you can help me with this? You don't get confident in your communication before you start communicating. Confidence is as assertive does. When you force yourself to use your assertive voice and take out all those filler nervous words, then you're going to gain confidence. 3, people that are the least connected are the ones that feel like they always have to put their 2 cents in. These are the same kind of people that love to name drop. Insecurity is loud, confidence is quiet. 4, the more concise you can be, the better. Every single time. This is a trait of super successful people. They're not sending super formalized, wordy, laboriously written emails. Short and to the point, like text messages. 5, if you're ever in a disagreement with someone, always come at it from a place of trying to connect with them instead of trying to prove your point. Some of the best things you could say to someone are things like, you can absolutely disagree with me. I am not trying to change your mind. Something I personally say is, this is just my opinion and my advice. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm not pushing anything on you. Go to part 2 if you want to hear the rest.
I know we all hate public speaking, which is very understandable, but today I'm going to be sharing some tips and tricks on how to sound eloquent when you're public speaking at a conference, a podcast, an event, etc. Here is what you need to do. So if someone is asking you a question, you need to frame every response that you had within a framework. You need to structure your answers, and I'll give you an example. So if someone were to ask me, why do you think Fenty Buttercream is the best lotion out there? I would say, I think Fenty Buttercream is the best lotion out there for 3 main reasons. The first reason is price, the second reason is moisture, and the third reason is design. And now I will expand upon each of those points. When you're speaking to an audience, particularly if you're like in a public speaking venue or doing an interview, etc., you want to give people a preview of what you're about to say because people have extremely short attention spans. And so you want to give them a preview of what you're going to say because that helps them follow along a little bit better. It makes you seem more organized and concise in your response. And it also helps you follow along to what you're going to say and not kind of get all over the place and lose your train of thoughts. Always structure your answer. Tip number 2 is using anecdotes or data to bolster your argument. And what I mean, if someone were to ask me, why do you think Fenty Buttercream is the best lotion on the market? I would say I would use quantifiable data or anecdotal data. So I would say with quantifiable data, did you know that Fenty Buttercream has 80% more moisturizing ingredients than any other product in the market? That's quantifiable data. Anecdotal data or experience would be the one time I used the Fenty lotion, I got so many compliments on how soft and supple my skin looked. That would be an anecdote. Both quantifiable data and anecdotal data, you can decide whatever you have access to, ideally both, but one or the other. That helps give you legitimacy and connection. So you're stating a statistic that obviously just makes you sound smarter and well-researched. Or secondly, you're stating an anecdote, which makes people feel connected and really it shows like legitimacy and trust in what you're saying. Okay, the big one that I think everyone struggles with is pace and breath. That will immediately draw people in or make people tune out. Have you ever heard someone public speak and they have like this shaky voice and they're like breathing really hard and like you can hear in their voice that they're so nervous? that causes your audience or your listeners to lose trust in you. So as much as you can, try and control your breath and your voice. You do not want to sound nervous and shaky because you just lose people that way. Also, pace is so important. Like, take your time while you're speaking, because taking your time and really owning the audience, making sure that you're emphasizing the points that you want to emphasize, really communicates that you are confident. Because if I were like, oh my God, I love Fenty Buttercream, it's the best lotion out there, versus I love Fenty Buttercream, it is the best lotion out there. Those are two different responses. One feels so confident, I'm taking my time. You're in no rush, take your time.
And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to have an aura of prestige, because someone told me this morning that I have an aura of prestige. Another video about how to fake being rich. No, this is a video on how to release the aura. It is a high reward to even be around you, to be in your space, to have your attention, and to even get to talk to you. This is how you do that. First, be scarce. One thing that I know helped this person to feel like I have a prestigious aura, when they asked me to reschedule at the last minute yesterday, I told them absolutely not. My calendar is packed today. How about tomorrow? They asked when. I said 10 a.m. They said, okay, I'll be there. I am not at anyone's beck and call. Actually, after 2 reschedules, one will never see me again. The person that I met with told me that a part of my prestigious aura was the fact that I had great posture. I always sit up straight. I'm quite ladylike. I cross my legs, and I'm okay with being still. I don't remember where I saw this tip, but about a year ago, I saw this tip about being still. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but you'll probably notice it now that I've mentioned it, but a lot of people are very fidgety. When someone has my attention, I am looking them in their eyes, I'm sitting up straight, and I don't move. I don't fidget with my bracelet. I don't fidget with my fingers. I don't tap my leg. I'm very, very still. It takes a bit of time to get comfortable being still, but once you try it, it does a lot for you. The third is probably what I was wearing. I found colors that complement my skin tone and make me look absolutely regal. When I met with them, I was wearing all black and a shearling coat that looks just like this, because I know that that coat complements and makes me radiate. It's very simple, but the contrast of colors and fabrics and just keeping it almost monochromatic can do a lot for one's look.
5 steps to instantly improve your vocabulary. If you want to sound smarter and more confident, listen to this. Number 1, read outside your comfort zone. My name is Davidwina. I'm an executive director, a board member, a public speaker, and an author. And so over the course of my career, I've had to improve and upgrade my vocabulary in order to sound smarter, more confident, and to be more articulate. So let me give you all my tips and tricks for free. Read outside your comfort zone. Read high-quality books, research papers, news articles. Challenge yourself with 1 book a month or 1 PhD article a month. Yes, I read random research papers, PhD articles from Google Scholar just for fun. I actually genuinely enjoy it. Now, although you might not enjoy it, I'm going to help you with some softwares and some apps that might help you enjoy reading better. A Harvard study on language acquisitions found that people who read diverse materials, business, literature, science, philosophy, expand their vocabulary 40% faster than those who stick to familiar topics. Pro tip, read out loud. It helps with pronunciation and retention. Number 2, and you might hate this, learn a new word a day. Do you remember in that episode of Friends where Joey was learning a new word every day? I know it sounds ridiculous, but it really helps. Now, the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve shows that people forget 70% of new information within 24 hours if they don't reinforce it. 24 hours. That's instant. How can you make this fun? Now, instead of doom scrolling on social media, she says, whilst being on social media, you can download word games. Merriam-Webster's Word for the Day, Quizlet, things like that can help you learn words every single day. Number 3, replace basic words with stronger alternatives. The Journal of Applied Psychology says that people who use more precise words are perceived as 30% more credible and persuasive. So instead of saying that's really good, say that's exceptional. And instead of saying I'm very tired, you can say I'm exhausted. And instead of saying this is very important, you should say it's critical. Precision. Pro tip, this especially comes in handy when you are writing corporate emails. Precision, precision, precision. Use a thesaurus to get you to the point when you feel stuck. Number 4, speak more and type less. Have you ever seen those people, or are you one of those people who like to talk to themselves and speak their thoughts out loud rather than type it up or journal it? A Princeton University research found that people who speak their thoughts out loud rather than typing it or texting it tend to develop verbal fluency faster. Pro tip, send more voice notes than text messages. I know, if you've ever communicated with me, especially those of you who like to find me on LinkedIn, I tend to send you voice notes. It's just become a habit now. It's better to send voice notes because it helps you with your verbal fluency and your articulation, and you get to critique yourself on a more in-depth level when you send more voice notes than text messages. Number 5, surround yourself with strong communicators. I say this all the time. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. We tend to mirror the speech patterns of those people who are around us. That means that if you change your surroundings, or if you level up your surroundings, your speech pattern will naturally change and you will become more articulate. So if you surround yourself with articulate people, you will become articulate in no time. How willing are you to make that change? When you follow and listen to speakers like myself, listen to TED Talks or podcasts, it will instantly challenge your way of thinking and speaking. Pro tip, imitate and then innovate. Study how well-spoken speakers communicate and then adapt it to your style of speaking so that you can remain authentic and yet level up at the same time. As we build our community here on TikTok, we are 30K. I want to have a more intimate community with you where I can answer your questions specifically and address any concerns you might have at work, in life, etc. Now, I am building out my subscription service and my website, which will be launched on the 14th of February, which is my love letter and my gift to you. Included in this will be resources like ebooks and the dates for my first masterclass where you can hang out with me live on Zoom on a Saturday morning. So keep your eyes peeled, follow, and hit the post notification. Is there a post notification on TikTok? I have no idea. Anyways, I love you and cope like a girl.
Speaking good English can be very difficult and tough, and it takes a lot of practice to get there. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some few steps that you can take to increase your vocabulary and make you speak fluently and better. Number 1 on the list is practicing frequently. If you want to know how to speak English properly, be fluent, and have good vocabulary, you need to practice frequently, okay? There's the Duolingo app that you can go on there and practice, take tests, help you read. You can also read with the Kindle app. It also helps. So practice. The more you practice, you get better. And when you're speaking, take your time and speak. Number 2 is expanding your vocabulary. When I say expand your vocabulary, it's a bit broad. You know, we are able to capture things when we watch it, okay? So by watching YouTube podcasts, picking, how they speak, how fluent they are, watching good videos on YouTube can help you be fluent in English. Reading as well is very, very, very important. The more you read, the more you get more vocabulary, and it increases your ways of being able to speak fluently and better. And watch movies with subtitles. It really helps. And it's really going to boost and make your English speaking very, very better. Also, you can practice with these videos on YouTube, how they pronounce words. It can also help. So you are watching these videos. The next thing is to learn how to imitate them. If it's an American kind of podcast that you want to learn their way of speaking or pronouncing words, you learn and you imitate. If it's the UK, you do sing. And as time goes on, you would notice that your speaking has increased and is getting better with time. Okay. Lastly is, if you're not good at speaking English, you need to take your time. Talk slowly, okay? Anytime you want to express yourself, because your words and pronunciations will be all over the place. So lastly, when you're talking, take your time and talk, and don't force any accent. That is the problem. Don't force any accent if you're not there. When you get there or you travel and you want to get the accent, that's fine. But if you are a beginner kind of a person that wants to speak good English, you have no business with forcing accent. No laugher. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Bye.